Well, today is Super Bowl Sunday, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. But that's not the only thing that's happening in Kansas City, because pretty much the largest auto carrier in the United States, been around since 1928, pretty much is going to close their doors as early as tomorrow. So I'm talking about Jack Cooper. So guys, I'm out running errands today, and so it came up that I heard a little bit about what's going on with Jack Cooper, including back at the beginning of sometime in January, it wasn't all that long ago, Ford decided to cancel all contracts with Jack Cooper, and that's a big deal to them. I know they tried to negotiate. They came out, the Teamsters came out with all kinds of stuff about how Ford's trying to cut down on the American worker and everything, and so I didn't read too much into it. And here's the interesting thing about Jack Cooper, and I will put it up here, that last year when Yellow claimed bankruptcy, Jack Cooper was the company that came in and tried to buy them out of bankruptcy. And there was all kinds of things, you know, negotiations they had to do basically with the U.S. government to try to get them to hold off on their loan. And really, apparently Yellow didn't entertain the offer too much. In fact, I believe that Yellow was at the time 10 times larger, if not 20 times larger than Jack Cooper. It was something, and I don't know much about the auto hauling business. I really don't. I'm too fat to get out of them cars when they're in them trailers. But maybe my buddy Eric can chime in on that if you see it. He's been a lifetime car hauler. But a business I don't know much about. But let's talk about what happened with GM. So with GM in the news on Friday actually was, and I of course haven't followed it too much to know, you know, that they were in negotiations with GM. I've read a few articles, I've gotten a few different theories and things that people are saying that they know happened, but we don't know how reliable the source is. A few things have been said. One is that Jack Cooper actually went to GM and said that because they lost Ford, they were going to have to raise their rates. I don't know if that's true, and that's absolutely ludicrous if you ask me, to actually go to your customer and say something like that to them. But I don't know if that's true. Jack Cooper hasn't actually announced that they're closing doors. However, it's everywhere, and if you check on Mother Trucker's channel, he just did a story. He got a lot of emails from Jack Cooper drivers telling them that they were told not to report to work anymore. But I guess after long negotiations with GM, after long negotiations with GM on Friday told them to actually unload the Jack Cooper trucks that were there. There's some reports from down in Bowling Green, where the Corvette dealer or the Corvette manufacturing plant is, that they actually unloaded 50 Corvettes off of Jack Cooper trucks that were ready to go. So they were told to unload, and apparently Jack Cooper has already told their employees to not report for work unless management contacts them. Of course, they will need some truck drivers to wind down operations, as the rumor is that they're winding down operations. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Another story that I heard was saying that GM was actually accusing Jack Cooper of mismanagement of money and trying to buy the company. And I guess that went nowhere, which kind of leads me to think, what's actually going on here? Is GM maybe in talks with somebody else that's going to swoop in and buy them? Because I can't imagine that GM can just all of a sudden out of the blue cut off their largest carrier. It's an award-winning carrier, you know, it's a Teamster company. I just can't imagine that GM is just going to cut them off without some kind of backup plan to get their stuff moved. We'll see though. Maybe the rates were so ridiculous that GM couldn't do it. It seems weird to think that GM would want to have a trucking company, because they're not very good at running an auto company in the last couple decades. So I guess we're just going to have to see. I think we're going to hear some more news tomorrow, but I wanted to get this right out to you guys. And I'm sure some of you guys might watch it after the Super Bowl. I I thought about dropping this video at 6 p.m. and I don't think I'm going to do that because that's when the Super Bowl starts. It would be my worst performing video ever. But I will see if I can get this out there as soon as possible and update you on some things. I also got some other things working. You know, some more history videos. I'm working on the history of Navajo. But I wanted to get this out there because this is just, you know, from a company that was gonna, you know, buy the largest trucking company in America last year, to now they're going under. We don't know if it's a bankruptcy. We don't know if there's plans to be bought out. I can't imagine there's not people that want to buy that company with, you know, with all that they have. Maybe they could get their Ford contract back. And yeah, who knows? I guess we're going to see. I'm sure there's going to be many more videos about this, but I wanted to get this all out there. So, hey guys, enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. I appreciate you watching. Like, comment. I read all the likes. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And if you don't want to send me a comment on a public forum like this, you can email me at finchresources@gmail.com. And I'm also on Facebook and Instagram, both of which I'm doing a lot more with these days. So go over there and check us out under the Trucking Resources name. And thanks, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.